With us now is Courtney Muhammad. He has launched an active write-in campaign for mayor of the city of Utica. He has been a chaplain in the New York State Department of Corrections, and he got an education at SUNY Poly. He has not previously run for office. So thank you for being here with us tonight as you kick off this campaign. Our first question for you tonight: in your estimation, is the city of Utica in good financial health? If yes, how would you maintain or even improve that financial status? And if not, what would you do to improve it?
Well, first, thank you, Jamie, for having me here today. And just to say the financial health of the city of Utica, I can go online because I'm an outsider at this point, so I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes until I get there. But going on the website and talking to some individuals and being a lifetime resident of Utica, we've really turned things around. The last 12 years, we went from, I think, a $16,000 deficit to now we're up there around, I think they said about 14 million surplus. That's good. We got about $60 million in from COVID, from what I hear, and it went into infrastructure, went into parks, it went into a lot of good things that we needed for a long time. The backside of that is that those things have to be maintained. So we have to be fiscally responsible, continued. Whatever was going on before I get there, we got to continue to maintain those things. And at the same time, be very careful not to go into debt any longer. From what I understand, how did we get into the position in the first place 12 years ago? There were some things that city government didn't do. And we're going to research those things, make sure that we don't make the same mistakes that they made in the past, and continue to move forward with this rebirth economically of the city of Utica. And my thing is that we got the economics going in the right direction, but now we need to deal with the people.
Mm-hmm. And on that topic of people, we know that people mean votes, and votes often mean more attention from state and federal officials. So as mayor, how would you attract more people to move their residents here to Utica and their businesses as well?
You know, believe it or not, even though the city of Utica is growing because of our immigrant population, a lot of the Uticans, we would say, are becoming a little disillusioned with our city. And it's sad to be a lifetime resident of Utica and seeing how people that I grew up with, many of them had to leave the area to be able to get good jobs. And so growing up and seeing that for a long time, I really want to look at how can we keep the people that are here in Utica? How can we open up the city and make it more appealing to those who are here to stay, and even look into how we can educate from the lower grades all the way up through college and have a program to keep them here in the area. And at the same time, when you start to see people who are here pleased with the city that they're part of, then that's going to make a place where many people will want to become a part of. So I believe that we just have to turn around what some of the negative is and start to see the promise and the hope in this area.
All right, and our last question for you. Homelessness is a problem that we see nationwide, and in recent years it has become a more visible problem here in the city of Utica. So how would you work to find a solution for that problem?
You know, I just asked my wife, hey, how do you solve the homeless problem? Not that I don't know or haven't considered it. She said, you got to get them homes. So what does that speak to? First of all, I'm coming from the ministry. I'm coming from clergy. So the sensitivity of the human element means more to me. And I know, because I stayed away from politics for so long, is that sometimes, as they would say, politics gets dirty. And somebody from the spiritual realm usually doesn't get involved. But because I think our city is ripe for a change, ripe for the sensitivity, right for looking at the condition of each and every individual. One of the things that I just want to touch on, if I have time, is a person named Patrick Johnson. Many of them know, Hoops and Dreams. And it was more than just basketball. But the backstory that Patrick would always tell me, he spent 19 years homeless and on drugs. And then he spent a bit in prison. And at a certain point, he decided to turn his life around. And when he did, he was confronted with a lot of things that were in the way to his success that he had kind of avoided for 19 years. But he needed someone there to give him a push. He needed someone there to hold on to him and help him to get to where he needed to go. And so 21 years later, everyone knows his name. So if we look at the homeless differently than the way we're looking at them, meaning that they take up a lot of resources, we got to find places for them, we got to get all these services. But if we look at the individual and what they bring to Utica, the possibility, I think that would change the spirit in how we look at homelessness. So each one of those individuals, I believe, from the spiritual realm, they have a gift, they have a talent, they have something to offer Utica, but right now they're at a bad time in their life. But hopefully, we'll be able to touch that and kind of maneuver around all of the areas where money kind of gets in the way or resources get in the way and start to get to people first.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Muhammad. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Early voting begins across the state this Saturday. There are local races of significance in your area no matter where you live. Here are the locations and times. Starting in Oneida County, there are 4 early voting locations. Early voting at all locations in Oneida County will run weekends from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The times vary Monday through Friday. In Herkimer County, there is just 1 early voting location, and that is in Little Falls at the Library Community Room. And lastly, in Otsego County, there are 2 early voting locations, the Foothills Performing Arts Center in Oneonta or at the Meadows Office Complex in Cooperstown. So we hope this half hour has been helpful. You can find all 4 of those videos online at cnyhomepage.com. And again, Election Day is 2 weeks from today, so don't forget to vote and join us for those results. Have a great night.